keep map control with it. And then if he goes roach, you know, then you can't really expand either. So I mean, it's kind of tricky like that as well. So, anyways, both players playing pretty well here, just getting up. Well, Zerg has a second extractor here. It's not going to be using, but he does have roaches, which are good against mech play. But of course, there are a lot of marines. I'd say roaches are okay against marines. I mean, I would not say that roaches are excellent or good or you know, maybe it's you know, an eye for an eye type of situation. I think that roaches are slightly worse than marines. So I mean, I feel like you really need banelings to deal with marines, and then infestors later on. Otherwise, they're just gonna crush you, you know, because marines are go-shoe. And, well, looks like the push is probably going to be happening pretty soon here. He does have 3 tanks, plenty of marines, and I really want him to expand behind this, otherwise it's pretty much an all-in. He really needs to get up a command center right now and then push out, or at least, you know, start one, then push out is what I mean to say. So, looks like he's probably waiting for Stim. Stim's going to be finishing up here shortly, so I would expect him to push out in just a minute here. Looks like he's going to be picking off this Overlord first. Which is good, because I mean that Overlord can spot the command center and knows that there's a command center, and then you can know that Terran's probably going to be pushing out soon. So I mean, it's one of those situations. And alright, so here we go. A bunch of marines and 4 tanks now coming out here. You will have a 5th one momentarily. It looks like Zerg's actually gearing up to possibly attack as well. So this might totally throw Terran off, especially if it goes on the low ground. If Terran goes on the low ground, these roaches can actually just barrage them from the top, so it looks like Terran is going to take the high ground, and Zerg is going to be pulling back. Plenty of roaches here, but I do believe he should wait for the creep, you know. Yeah, I mean, this creep should be spread across here as well, and then it'd be a lot easier to deal with this, but, ooh, there goes the spine crawler, like, one-hit kill, and tanks are in a very good position. He did not go too far with those tanks, and I believe Zerg is going to be in a huge amount of trouble. There's just not enough roaches out here, and just, I mean, in a way, over-droned, and in a way, roaches, since they're not the best against marines, just pretty much dead now, and these tanks are now advancing forward. 2 overlords going to be picked off for free, and some more roaches coming down from the ramp here. Definitely not going to be enough. You really need to... No, don't go in there. You don't want to go in there right now. Okay, apparently just going to lose those roaches for free. You know, in that situation, that kind of situation, even if it was just a few marines, even if he wasn't attacking in here, you need to hold back your guys. You know, in that situation specifically, he would have lost that natural, so I can understand going in there, but you definitely want to hold back, collect more guys. You know, you don't want to send, like a handful of guys and then wait for more guys to spawn and then send another handful. You want to have a handful, wait for some more, so that you have 2 handfuls and then maybe 3 handfuls or 4 handfuls and then attack all at once. Just having more guys in the attack is going to be a lot stronger. So anyways, it looks like that guy, I'm not going to try to pronounce the name again, the black Zerg player just left. So Gangsta Goose is taking the win, and he's going to be playing flips now. And, well, we'll see what happens. Darn it, why isn't anybody watching? I'm actually casting fairly decently here. Well, it looks like Flips has spawned at the top 3 o'clock position. Red Terran player once again. And his opponent, Mr. Gangsta Goose, playing as Terran, as the dark green guy at the, well, the lower left-hand side, also known as the western 9 o'clock position here. And we'll see what they do exactly, since it is cross positions. I would not be surprised if we saw a pretty early command center, but again, a lot of players do like to just kind of do the normal thing no matter what position they are in. But you can actually get away with quite a bit more in these cross positions. No matter what race you're up against, no matter what race you are, you really should be thinking about it and adjusting your play accordingly. I mean, for example, in Terran against Zerg, an offensive 2 barracks play with a bunker is not going to be very strong in these positions. I wouldn't suggest it. I mean, you can go 2 barracks, command center, expand, and defend with those marines. That's perfectly fine. But I would not suggest just going 2 barracks and you know, moving across the map to put out a bunker and all that, because I mean that's just not going to work out very well, unless your Zerg player is just really bad, in which case it will work out. So tanks and whatnot are going to be very good, and what's not. Well, again, that would be for Terran against Zerg. In this matchup, Terran against Terran, drops and Banshees are good in these positions. If they're close ground, it wouldn't be so good, because if one player had the watchtowers, then that other player could not put Banshees around here. And if you put Banshees this way and drops around that way, then it's just really easy to scout them and whatnot. It's kind of predicted to be there, so you can put missile turrets here and whatnot, and yeah, so it's just not as strong either. So I mean, and if you want to go long way, you can go like all the way around to the base, and it's just not very good either. So I don't know, in these positions, let's see what else is good. We have, of course, Marine Marauder Medevac, do some drops with that, Banshee play, tank play. Actually, tank play is quite good as well. You can put tanks in the middle, cut the map in half. You can take your entire end of the map easily. You know, you don't have to really defend it very easily, but at the same time, drops can be a big issue then as well. Now, a lot of players think that tanks are pretty much the only thing you can get in this matchup, but it's really not. You know, that's not really true. Actually, wow, Flips, I totally missed it. Has a proxy barracks here. It's not really too close to dark green, but he does have one out in the middle here. So, just so Gangster Goose does not detect it. But if he does watch the watchtower, I'm pretty sure it's like just in vision. We'll see if he goes right up there or not. Looks like he's gonna scoot right by it. All right, so he's not gonna find it. Not a big deal. But what I was saying was, and we see actually 3 barracks here as well. So he's gonna be pretty much doing it all in. And Gangsta Goose getting up to Tech Lab, going to be getting some Marauders, possibly just Stim. I don't know. He just has 1 barracks for now. Okay, now adding on another barracks. Oh, he's going to a Ghost Rush. All right, so this is actually something you don't really see all that much. I've heard about it before, but you pretty much get a bunch of Ghosts up, and since, I guess in this matchup, it's really more for snipe, since EMP isn't really going to affect the Marines and Marauders, are not going to affect tanks or Hellions. So, I mean, early on, it's really not a big thing. For the EMP, it's more for the snipe. You snipe Marauders, snipe Marines, and all that good stuff. They do 20 damage versus light, which is excellent. So, I mean, 20 damage versus lights, 10 versus normal stuff. So that's actually quite a bit of damage. Even though they're pretty slow, they have pretty good range as well. 6 range. Actually, I thought it was 7 or 8, but, well, 6 is still decent. So, anyways, another barracks coming online here for Gangsta Goose. And a 3rd one. Alright, so he's going to be doing plenty with that. Meanwhile, lots of Marines out here for Flips. And he's probably going to be attacking pretty soon here. But what I was... I got sidetracked because there was actually kind of stuff happening, but usually there isn't in the early game. But what I was saying was, players think that mech play, like tanks and Marauders and Marines are the only things you can get in this matchup. Maybe some Marauders for drops and Banshees, and you go like 1-1-1 Marines and tanks and Medevacs and Vikings and Banshees and all that stuff. That's not really true. I mean, I've seen a lot of good bio play against mech. You just have to get a lot of good drops and whatnot. You have to be very aggressive with it, expand a lot, and that the mech player can't really expand as much because the tanks and Thors and whatnot are so slow. And Banshee, of course, can still kind of look around the map, but if you get Vikings out with the 2... Well, I don't know. There's a lot of strategy in Terran against Terran. I'm not going to talk about it because there isn't all-in right now. I've been kind of just monitoring it, and, well, there's pretty much all the SVs have been pulled off. Actually, not all of them, but a lot of them anyway. And, well, he's going to have to try to get up this ramp here now. This is actually something that you don't really see too much. An all-in against a Ghost Rush into Expand. Especially with the wall, that wall's pretty much for Hellions, and while those Ghosts are doing quite a lot of work here, he's not been using Snipe, he's killing off all those SCVs already. So I mean, that's really, really awesome. There's the Snipe goes, he's killing all of them off, and, well, Dark Green's not going to lose all that much, so I mean, I like that quite a bit for an early defense. If someone goes Marines, you pretty much just win. If he goes Hellions, Hellions are even considered light, so I mean, a Ghost would still do 20 damage to him. So, I mean, they're still pretty strong that way. So, I mean, they are pretty darn strong in this matchup early on. I don't know, I'm kind of at a loss for words here because I haven't really seen it before, but yeah, pretty much anything that Terran has to offer that early will easily be countered. So, I mean, it's a safe way to expand, it looks like. And apparently no one's going to be playing. Alright, so let's join the next one. Make sure we're still online. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. It seems as though a lot of players haven't realized this yet, but if someone's pending, you can't kick him out. You can't start the game. You pretty much have to wait for him to disconnect. As long as you're the host in a public game. And it looks like he's gone now, but well, we still have 2 empty slots. I'm not sure if the host is waiting for that, or if they're just AFK or just don't realize they're host, or I don't know. That happens a lot in StarCraft 2, so I don't know. I want to be purple, not brown. All right. Looks like Big Moon has joined and been promoted, so. People in their comments. Well, Pucci joined, letting us get out of here. I really just, I don't know. People like to, be funny, have a good time. That's fine, But I don't know. There's not very understanding sometimes. Oh, yep. There we go. I forgot to set my status. Let's do that real quick. Alright. Well, I've seen Nocturnal before, I've seen Big Moon before, I have not seen... I've seen Saltine before. I'm not I forget how good these guys are, but... Well, it looks like it's pretty laggy. Or it was for a sec. Well, there we go. Alright, so we have Big Moon spawning as a red Terran player at the bottom 6 o'clock position. It looks like a bunch of people have slow computers. Gonna take a second longer to load. Alright, there we go. Nocturnal leaving since he's not playing. Not a big deal. We're just gonna bet on Big Moon. And, well, his opponent is Walu. Or Wulo. I don't know, for some reason whenever I see a word, it's like I want to, like my brain forces me to pronounce it one way when it's actually completely different. So I don't know why I said Walu, but it's Wolo. So, anyways, he spawned at the top here, our lights pink Zerg player. And we got some drones coming out here. Possibly an Overlord next, possibly a drone next. We will find out. It looks like probably an Overlord since he's supply capped. Not doing the extractor trick, at least not yet. No extractor trick, alright, whatever. So Big Moon here, just throwing down his fly depot. Starting his wall. And not much else going on, just guys coming out. It is Zerg against Terran in cross positions here on Metalopolis, so a lot of players think or say it's very Terran or very Zerg. It's much better for Zerg than Terran, and if it's close positions, it's much better for Terran. I would not necessarily say that. I'd say you just got to play differently. Whereas in close positions, obviously aggressive plays are better, which means that 2 barracks player are going to be a lot stronger. And then Zerg can't really fight back because of the wall, and that's really the reason why they say that it favors Terran. But to be totally honest, you can do a pretty good baneling bust in these positions. I mean, it's close positions, you could possibly get away with it pretty easily. And then even do a baneling bust when he tries to expand or something like that. If you can defend off that 2 barracks play, it'd be just fine. Which is exactly what Big Moon is doing, but he is in the cross positions, so I would not suggest doing this offensively, just because of the distance is so long. I'd suggest maybe doing a 2 barracks expand and defend with all those Marines coming out, and then tech later on. I feel like that would be a very good play. But, obviously you just need to constantly produce units to defend anything that Zerg has to offer, since Terran doesn't have the best scouting capabilities unless you're going Hellion. And then, of course, that's always going to be a good play to get, get your barracks, your refinery, your factory, and then get Hellions out, control the map, and then expand, and then you can continue on with Banshees or get tanks or all that good stuff. So, I mean, that's generally what you